A few months back, he looked like this. And now, he looks like this. This is Chetan Bhagat, brand ambassador and my very good friend. Let's go and talk to him. Chetan, welcome to the show.
Hi Rajiv, good to see you again, always.
What have you done? How do you look like this now? You've really lost some weight.
Well, actually, you are one of the reasons. I was missing you so much. No, seriously, we went to, remember we went to China together for that Huawei trip in the factory. And while of course we saw the wonderful factories, I saw your dedication, how you in the middle of the shoot, you in the morning woke up and went for a run on the streets of Shenzhen. And all the Chinese people are looking at who's this Indian guy, such a tall guy running. So, and I think despite that, despite all the people looking at you, you kept on running and kept on running, and I got really inspired, and there you go.
What do you really like about this phone? The features that are personally important to you?
Well, I think firstly it's the display. I like it, the 6.1 inches. Of course, the bigger and bigger phones are coming. I think this 6 inches may be the optimal where it remains a phone, and then you can still use it as a phone, but it's big enough. So we are getting to that max point. The second amazing feature is the battery life, which is 4000 mAh or whatever it is, but basically it's like I told you, 2.5 times that of an iPhone, 1.5 times that of a Note 2, and I mean you can watch movies on it for 12 hours non-stop, one charge. I wouldn't recommend that, because after watching movies for 12 hours you would not be a very normal person, but if you wanted to test the limits, you could do that. Standby several days, and of course the price, like I said, it is competitive, and if it's substituting a tablet and a phone and you compare it to what it's costing you, it is a great value product.
Right, and you pointed out the very obvious, the fact that the screen is big. It's a beautiful, clear, clean screen, but it is 6.1 inches, and many people would say that this screen size represents what is starting to become a ridiculous situation in mobile phones, that big is becoming too big. So when is big too big?
I thought the same, and I've seen your programs on that size issue, your column on the size issue, and I also thought, oh my God, now it's 6 inches and mine's bigger than yours kind of thing. Well, it is little bit like that, but I think this is big enough and to be used for web browsing purposes and video watching purposes, but not so big that that you can't use it as a phone. I do agree, size does matter, but I also agree that there is something known as too big, and I think this is getting to a nice, big, but still just about fits size. And I'm talking about the phone here, just to be clear.
No, totally. I absolutely understand. It's not men and some women bragging about inches. We are still talking about screen sizes. Okay, one more important question, and you're the perfect person to answer this. Now, people also say that such large phones also have a gender bias. For instance, fits well in my hand, but I have really big hands. May not fit very well in, let's say, a girl or a woman's hand, and therefore it's a struggle for them, and they are not going to be buying this phone, and they are obviously feeling left out. Gender bias?
Women like big things too. I mean, the jury's out on that. Men like to believe it's size only is a men thing, but women have a view on size. I think women have an advantage for bigger phones, and I'm not being facetious. They carry handbags all the time. So in fact, it's a much lesser issue for them. How many times do you find women putting the phone in their pocket? Even if it's a smaller screen, women will not let phone in their pocket. It just doesn't look as nice, but they normally keep it in their handbag. And I think given the Pandora's box, average woman's handbag is with so many things, a big phone is easier to find. So there are advantages, and like I said, it's the only device you need. So you don't need to carry a laptop or an iPad and things like that, and you don't have to worry about charging so much because of battery life. So I don't think it's a gender thing at all. Men may be more into gadgets, but actually it's a very useful phone for women.
I really hope you and me are still talking about mobile phones. Somehow that conversation, my question, your answer, I thought we were talking about something completely different. Okay, but let's talk about something completely different now, and that's your all-new movie career. Maybe is that why you're losing weight? But anyway, coming down to what you're doing, all your books seem to be perennial favorites and start becoming films. Do you think it might influence your next book? Do you think subconsciously you may be writing a book now with a screenplay in mind for the next?
I don't know. I'm sure somewhere down the line, working in Bollywood has influenced the way I structure my stories. I don't think it's a conscious decision that, oh, I better write that someone will make a movie on it. I've never done it so far. Like, for example, I wrote a story on Godhra. I never thought someone will make a movie on it because it's probably going to be banned or something. But, you know, Kai Poche came out, did well, everything went okay. So I think if it's a good story, it will be made into a movie. And if not, then it may not, and even if it's a good story, sometimes they don't get made because of the project limitations and everything. So that's not something an author can think of.
Okay, I agree. But then your next book will be the test case. Okay, now, you are an author. You're also a columnist, political and contemporary issues. You also now are writing screenplays. You're also a tech brand ambassador. So if you had to just choose one out of all of these to describe yourself, which one would be the right one?
I think a writer. I think at the end of the day, I'm a writer. All these other activities are for fun. I am an engineer. I am so gadgets and all come naturally to me. So in some ways, it's nice to be associated with the brand which is innovative and about technology. But of course, the core thing is that I am a writer, and I'll always remain that. All the extracurricular activities are, you know, just like the SUPW period in school, but the main subjects are important.
All right, Chetan, as always, great speaking with you and spoken just like the author that I know. I'll catch up with you offline, but right now, thanks for speaking with us on Selguru.